How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and these are 3 mistakes riders keep on making in the twisties. So number 1, a lot of people don't have any plan with their vision. They don't know where to look or why or when, or know when their vision is a problem and the side effects that it causes. So we'll talk about that. Number 2, big problem. People try to corner fast versus trying to get the corner over with fast. That's number 2. And then number 3, still, people focusing way too much on body position. So let's talk about each one. So number 1, people have no plan with their vision. So let's just take a typical line through here. Let's just say this is your line going through the corner, okay? Very basic. Now, where do you want to be looking? So as you're coming up to the corner, you're kind of looking around this area, right? You're kind of trying to pick your turn point. Where do I think I'm going to turn the bike? And this is, say, a 10-foot diameter circle in the ground. It's not an exact spot because you're traveling forward and it's kind of dynamic, right? This is a little bit more fixed. The middle of the corner right around here is a little bit of fixed, and then the exit is definitely fluid. So say you're trying to exit around here. So basic 1, 2, 3. Who can't understand that, right? And this is directly from California Superbike School, 3-point turning. So as you're approaching the corner, you're trying to just find an area on the ground. I think I'm going to turn right about there. Now, your relationship with this spot in your mind may change. You may turn, your line might be like this because you realize there's a squirrel right there or a bunch of gravel. Or you might turn a little bit past it and then start to lean. You might start to lean a little bit before it. But at least you're picking out a spot. You're planning. I think I'm going to turn the bike, start to lean the bike right about here. Before you get to that spot, how far before? Once you know 100%, you will bet someone $1,000 you're going to get to your spot where you think you're going to turn your bike. Then, and only then, do you look up to the next spot. And that's the middle of the corner. So whenever you're closest to the inside, that's what apex is. A lot of people don't realize that. Apex is not the middle of the corner, because if the apex was dead center in the middle of the corner, that's like how it is in science, you know what I mean? But motorcycling, we have a different term. Apex just means whenever you're closest to the inside. So for a quick example, if this is your line and you touch the inside right there, then go back to the outside the whole time, your apex would be right there, because that's when you were closest to the inside. That's all apex means. It's just a reference point. So before you get to the first spot, you look for the second. And now you're on the path to travel. Once you know for sure you're going to get to this spot, you will bet $1,000, I know I'm going to get to where I want to be right there. Then, and only then, do you look up at the third spot. And this is fluid. So as you're traveling, your eyes will keep on traveling. You're looking at the exit, right? And then you just repeat. Where do I think I'm going to turn the bike? Where do I think the apex is? Or where do I think I'll be in the middle of the corner? Where will I be closest to the inside? And then where do I want this bike to exit? Now, how do you know you're looking too far? Is because while you're right here, you already looked at number 3. Then your eyes have to shoot back and look at number 2, and then look at back number 1 to make sure you make it, and then look back at number 2. Then halfway between 1 and 2, you look at 3, then hurry up and look back at 2. So if your eyes are dancing around like this, you're looking too far. You only look at the next spot when you guarantee you know you're going to make it there. So your bike is right here, the marker, and here are your eyes, right? So you're looking here. Before you get there, you look there. Once you know you're going to make it, then you look there. Once you come up to your exit, here's another turn point over here, then you look there. Once you get to the next turn point, you know you're going to make it, you look at the apex. Once you know you're going to make it, then you look at the exit. But your eyes aren't doing this. Every time you look too far, or you look other side of the road at the truck coming the other way, or the guardrail, or wherever else you don't want your front tire to go, every time you look off of your intended path to travel, you have a mild panic attack to hurry up and try to get your eyes back to where it was. And that's how you start to freak yourself out really quickly. So it's just 1, 2, 3. Now let's say you're riding around and you don't want to do anything with this stuff. You just want to ride dead center in the middle of the road. Okay, that's perfectly fine. You're still doing the same thing. Where do I think I'm going to start to lean the bike? Right? Where's that spot going to be? Where's the middle-ish of the turn? And where's the exit? You still want to keep your eyes flowing on the line on your intended path to travel. Just imagine, no matter what corner it is, Just imagine someone spray painted the perfect line going through the corner. Where else are you supposed to look other than that intended path of travel? Now I understand this is for the street, so in the straightaway, say this is a long straightaway, in the straightaway, you're looking in the mirrors, making sure you're aware of your surroundings, right? Situational awareness. But once you actually go into the corner, while you're in the corner, and this is just one, if there's a multiple corners back to back, where else are you supposed to be looking other than your intended path of travel? You go where you look, right? So look where you want your front tire to go. Nowhere else. There's no point. While you're right here, if there's a truck coming the other direction, you don't have to look at the front bumper of the truck. You know it's a vehicle. You don't have to know the make, model, year, tire size, and all this detail. You just know there's a vehicle coming. Your peripheral vision will pick that up. You don't have to focus your attention, your eyes over there. And then, you look offline, and then, oh, where's my line again? And you have that little tiny panic attack. And if you're doing that a bunch, you're just freaking yourself out as you're going through the corner. You see what I'm saying? So another quick example. So here's a whole bunch of turns back to back to back to back to back. And say we're going this way. So this is your intended path of travel. This is where you want your front tire to go. Let's say it looks something like this. Right? That's where you want your front tire to be. So as you're coming up to it, if there's multiple turns, you may not have time. There may not be a definitive turn point, apex, exit, right? It'll kind of flow into each other. So as I'm coming down the straight, I'm going to start to turn right there about. So I'm already looking there before I get there. Before I get to this spot, I'm already looking right here. As I'm traveling, before I get to there, so now that's for, look at, there's a bunch of turns. So if I take this corner by itself, right, this apex now becomes the start point, the turn point for this turn. And then the exit becomes the apex from that. You see it kind of just flows together. So now it's no longer turn point, apex, exit, because where's the exit? It kind of goes into the apex. It becomes kind of like an apex to apex type thing. So if you have a long straightaway, there will be a turn point and an apex. But if it's multiple turns, before I get to here, as I'm right here, before I get to there, I'm already looking right here. And before I get to there, I'm already looking right there. Before I get to there, I'm looking up at the next spot. Before I get to there, I'm looking over here. You see what I'm saying? See how it flows more together? But if you don't have any plan with your eyes, it has so many horrible side effects. Your line will be affected. You don't know where you're supposed to be going on the road. And it'll affect your throttle. So if you're looking back or looking really far and then looking back, usually every time you do this, you're making multiple inputs with the bars. This is why people are wobbly. And then you're also doing inputs with the throttle. Because if you look really far, oh, I feel like I'm going slow. I want to get back on the throttle. Then your eyes shoot back forward. Oh, crap, I'm not pointing in the right direction yet. Then you chop the throttle. So these are all side effects of poor vision, having no plan with your eyes. That's the main thing. No plan with your eyes. Throttle control is messed up. Line is messed up. So again, we're going through here, and let's say the yellow or the orange line in the middle, that's where you want to ride. Okay, well, where are you looking then? Say you're going this way this time. So I'm looking right about here, and I'm looking here, I'm going to look right here, and I'm probably going to look right here, and then look right here, and then, okay, I'm going to go up. Right, and before I get to each dot, I'm just going to look at the next dot. While I'm right here, so as I'm coming up, say this is a long straightaway. As I'm coming up, I may get my big, wide vision and just kind of look up ahead. What's going on? There's a bunch of cars coming the other direction, whatever, and kind of just get a quick snap overview of everything. But once I actually start to lean, here I am, there's where I'm looking. Once I know for sure I'm going to get to there, I'm looking right there. Once I know for sure I'm going to get to there, I'm looking over there. Once I know for sure I'm going to get to there, then I look at the next one. You're just looking one spot ahead. That's it. It's so simple. People think it needs to be much more complicated than this, which is why people try to do all kinds of crazy things with their vision. Or worse, they don't even know where they are looking because they're unable to kind of step out of themselves and pay really close attention to your own vision. So whenever I go down the mountain, I try to count how many times when I'm actually going down the twisty mountain road do I look offline. Do I look at the guardrail real quick? I look at the tree. I look at the oncoming traffic. So I try to make it 0. That's perfect, right? But nobody's perfect. It's really, really difficult to do. So usually I get between, say I go down Palomar Mountain, it takes, say, 6 minutes, 7 minutes to go down the mountain. Then if I look off my intended line maybe 4 or 5 times, that's pretty good. That's way better than 70. You see what I'm saying? So try to minimize the amount of times you look offline, because again, this is why it's important. Every time you look offline or look too far, it's a mild panic attack real quick to try to get back on the line and find where you're supposed to be. And that's not very helpful at all. Your steering will be affected and your throttle will be affected by making this one mistake, having no plan with your vision. It's the most important thing. Number 2, people try to corner fast versus exit fast. There's a reason why this saying is so popular and is what people need to be focusing on for a long time, right? Really get good at this. You go in slow, out fast. In slow, out fast. So ride in a manner to allow you to exit fast. If you go into a corner at 80 and you come out of the corner at 40, you really messed up. You're lucky to make it. Better to go in at 40 and come out at 80. And this is the problem that people do. And I see this so many times, right? People right here focus so much. All they want is mid-corner speed. I want to corner faster. I want to corner faster. How fast did you take that corner? I'm like, I don't know, 30 miles per hour. Well, I went through it at 40. Yeah, fantastic. But you're 2 minutes slower than me, like around this track. Like, what difference does it make for mid-corner speed? That's not the focus. So you need to put that aside for a while. Less mid-corner speed, less max lean angle. If you're going through the middle of a corner at 40, it requires a certain amount of lean. If I go through the same corner at 30, just 10 miles per hour less, well, I'm going to be leaned less, obviously, right? So less mid-corner speed, less max lean. And the people who really have a big problem with this that I see all the time for the one-on-ones and track days and everything else are people on big bikes. Because the way they're riding, they should be riding 300 or 400 cc bikes because they just love mid-corner speed and a whole lot of lean angle. You're not taking advantage of the big bike power and the brakes. So big bikes, you want to kind of go like this, make it like a V. You drive it in on the brakes, sacrifice mid-corner speed, go really slow in the middle of the corner in order to get direction off the edge of the tire, use all that power coming out of the corner. You see what I'm saying? But if you're just railing every corner with a tremendous amount of lean and corner speed, big problems happen. You freak yourself out. You have too much lean. The tires could start to slip. Oh my God, I don't think I'm going to make it. You have no control of your mid-corner speed because people are off the brakes, not trail braking, going in. I'm just freaking themselves out. And there's a whole bunch of clips of people doing this. And as I'm behind them, like, oh man, please don't low slide in front of me. This is bad. Holy crap, you're off the brakes already? Most of the time I'm on the brakes 20, 30 feet longer going into the corner than the person is in front of me that I'm following behind and recording during one of these one and cornering sessions. Then afterwards, I follow them, we talk about the video, and they take a half hour to go over the video that I recorded for them, and then we do a whole bunch more stuff. It takes 2-3 hours per person. But it's most of the time it's just off the brakes too soon, way too much mid-corner speed, exit is absolutely terrible. So big problem, right? So let me show you a quick example real quick, okay? So let's say this is the exact same corner, 2 different riders. So both are starting at 50. This one's going 45, 40. Mid-corner speed, this rider's going 44, this rider's going 37. And because they have so much mid-corner speed, it's going to take them longer to get back on the throttle. And look at the exit. This rider's exiting at 60 miles per hour. This rider's exiting at 55. Okay? Now you times that, say this is a long straight. At the end of the long straight, it'll be significantly different top speed. Say this is a long straight on the track or whatever, right? This rider will be going, say, 120. This rider will be going 100. So exit speed. Exit speed is what matters, okay? So just keep that in mind. You want to sacrifice your mid-corner speed. So this rider will be quicker overall. This rider will be quicker right there. And that's it, just right there. So if there's a camera guy taking a picture, this rider will have more lean angle because they're going faster through the exact same corner. So you'll have more lean angle for the picture, but I'll be at the end of the road taking my helmet off before you even show up because you're going to be overall slower. And this rider has more risk because they're cornering faster, they're having more max lean. This rider is cornering in the middle of the corner slower, right? But they have faster exit speed. They're off the edge of the tire. They have less max lean angle. This rider is going to be overall quicker and they'll be safer. But what do most people do? This. Way too fast in the middle of the corner. That's the big problem. And finally, body position. Too many people are just trying to hang off and just drag their elbow everywhere and whatever the hell they're doing, right? So it's not necessary to ride well or quickly. I could ride, I call my buddies and we're just a bunch of neutral nannies. We just ride around straight up and down, no body position. I'm leading the ride. There's 3 guys directly behind me. None of us are moving our body at all. And we're riding at a very quick speed, very, very efficient, not getting tired, very fast. And there's people behind us on 1000cc sport bikes trying to drag their knee everywhere, and they're way slower than us. So what are we doing that's better? Well, obviously body position is not the tool that we're using to go quicker. It can be a tool once you're getting near the max and you need that little bit. So body position, so say this is the riding, like this is how fast you can ride. So you could ride really damn fast, right? And very, very well, with no body position whatsoever. Maybe the last 5%, if you have extreme amounts of lean angle, okay, a little bit of body position is probably necessary way up here. But what are people doing? They're focused on body position, but they're riding at this pace. It doesn't make any damn sense. And you're just gonna be bouncing around the bike too much. Talk about a big waste of energy. People get tired riding around half day at the track. It's like, how are you tired already? We've only been here for 2 hours. Well, they're just moving their body weight too much. They're too worried about how they look versus riding well. And when people do decide to start moving their body, they're not sure when to do it, how to set it up, why to do it, what's the purpose of doing it. And keep in mind, people correctly try to mimic the things racers do. They watch racers and like, okay, well, they're doing that. I want to do that too. But they're focusing on the wrong thing, right? So, and not everybody is the same size or weight or shape or have the same flexibility. Maybe someone's injured, not injured, different bikes, different tires, different skill. So everybody can't look the same way. Not everybody's on the exact same bike. Even if you are, everybody's different. And just because that person is on the same bike as you, same tires as you, same exact size as you, do they have the same skill as you, the same knowledge, the same experience with lean angle and corner speed? And there's just so many variables. So when people try to copy what they see racers do, obviously the biggest thing they could see is body position. What you're not seeing, perfect lines, insanely consistent, where their vision is, their amazing braking skills, throttle discipline. I mean, those are the things you don't see, but those are the things that are actually making them really fast, right? It's only the top little 1% that'll be a little bit of body position. So do you think if racers stop moving their body around the bike, do you think they're automatically going to be very slow? No. They will still ride around very fast. Of course, they'll be a little bit slower, but I guarantee you a professional racer will still be way faster than you by not moving their body whatsoever. And you could ride that racer's bike and hang off as much as you want. They'll still be way faster than you. So body position is not the thing to be focusing on at all. And this is the problem. People want to look good for pictures versus ride well. This is the issue I see with so many damn people. People rather ride slower and look cool. They think they're riding fast, right? But it's not. They're riding slower. So I think I'm riding fast. I want to look cool for the picture versus actually being able to ride very quick, very well, but you're going to be looking boring. And there's no way people want to look boring. I want to look cool. I want to fit in with the guys. Look how much lean angle I have. Look, I touched my knee down. That's the problem. People are worried about how they look versus how to ride well. So don't focus on body position at all for a long time. You don't need to do it, okay? Couple bonus things to think about. So another big mistake people do is they're not taking more formal training. So in the last, I think, year and a half, I've taken Champ Grad, California Superbike School, Level 1, Level 2, twice. And I've taken a private day with Jason Pridmore at Chuckwalla Raceway. And then SoCal Supermoto probably 7 times. That's just in the last year and a half. So take more formal training. You could always learn more. If you think you can't learn more, you should probably stop riding because you're a liability. And that type of overconfidence is going to get you in trouble very quickly. Not wearing full gear, self-explanatory, it's pretty damn stupid. Another big mistake people do is trying to keep up with others. Ride your own ride. Your goal should be ride, have fun, no tickets, no crashes. That's my goal. Every time I go ride, I want to get back home, no tickets, no crashes. And I've been keeping that streak alive for the past 10 years straight. No tickets, no crashes. So not many people can say that. Plus, another big, I don't know what it is. I keep on spending money on mods and this and exhaust and power commander and this and carbon fiber, blah, blah. but then not say, and then say, well, I don't have enough money for leathers. I don't have enough money for a track day. I don't have enough money to take a course. Well, you just spent $5,000 on carbon fiber wheels and a power commander and exhaust. You don't tell me you have money for stuff that actually matters. It's just stupid, right? So here's a little bit of perspective, wrapping all this stuff up. Jason Pridmore, two-time champ. He's the commentary from Motor America. He has his own training school. You could take a private day with him like what I did. It's called JP43. All the links are on my website, motojitsu.com/courses. So Chuckwalla Raceway, for normal people like me that go to the track every now and then, if you get 2 minutes or less, that's pretty quick, just for a normal rider, right? That's like A group. And if you're going anything faster than like 155, you're down to 154, 53, you're racing. And then I think the lap record is a 142. So here's a little bit of perspective. Jason Pridmore did a 151 at Chuckwalla. There's a video about this. Just type in Jason Pridmore, Corey Alexander, Chuckwalla. You can watch this video. 151 at Chuckwalla Raceway with stock ZX10Rs. They still have their mirrors on, everything else, with Dunlop Q4 tires. Street tires, stock bikes, 151. So please don't tell me anything about your BS slicks and your mods you need and all this crap you need. You just don't know how to ride that well, because look at that, 151 on stock 1000cc bikes with street tires. Unbelievably fast. And even crazier, he did a 153 with the passenger at Chuckwalla. And he could do a 145 a couple seconds off the lap record pace on a stock ZX10R. Just a couple seconds off lap record pace on a stock motorcycle. So please don't tell me you need these crazy modifications. The biggest modification you need is to upgrade yourself. Do not worry about the bike. The bike is totally fine. It's totally capable. It's the rider that's the problem. Thanks for watching. Check out the link below to all the links to all my Instagram and my book and my app and Revzilla and chin mounts and everything I have. Everything is in the description below. Thanks for watching, and get out there and practice.